Hey, what is going on YouTube? This is Robert, and today I'm bringing you an unboxing, as you can see behind me. Now, big boxes don't always equate massive things. In this case, they definitely do not. They equate very small, thin items in particular, because this is going to be my Kith Marvel supervillains unboxing. Now, unfortunately, I will get into the explanations and everything, but I didn't have the greatest of luck. I really didn't. It was a really bad day, I'm not gonna lie. But regardless, I was able to get something, and for once, Kith did not cancel my order. I have so many cancellations with Kith. I'm pretty sure a few years ago I made like a video because of the pure fact that basically every drop that I went for, even if they were restocking 50 to 100 stock of teas or different items or just putting things up that might have had low stock at the time, I would hit, and then 10 minutes to about an hour later, I'd get a cancellation email. So yeah, I've had a rocky history with them, to say the least. But let's jump straight into this, and as per norm, let me know down below whether or not you were able to get what you wanted from this drop. Specifically, obviously the A6, I didn't get them. But you know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, let's just jump straight into this. So as I said, big doesn't always equal, you know, a lot of items or massive things. In this case, this is what the item below is going to be going into. So let's just move things about a little bit. So this is my Kith order, evidently. I wish that it had like a ton of stuff in it, but as you can tell, there's not a lot going on. The thing about it is you get like the number of the art, the size, the quantity. I wish that meant that that's how many were actually in here. It doesn't at all. But yeah, we're just going to be getting straight into this. So because there's something on practically every single side of that, I've just moved it out of the way just for the time being. So let's just crack this open whilst we talk about the Kith drop and everything that went on. So obviously it was the supervillains collection, unlike the X-Men collection that was last year. We had the supervillains this time round. I'm using these basically like safety scissors because they're so much easier. So yeah, really looking forward to this. Really cool, great. You know, another chance to add something cool to the collection. And a little bit of a disappointment, I would say, as far as I don't really understand why they released, obviously, comics for the last couple of collections with Marvel. You had Spider-Man, you had the X-Men last year, and then this year, obviously, you get the supervillains one. Now, what the hell is going on with this? Obviously, safety is their priority at the end of the day when it comes to a frame. So, there's that. Okay, it's actually a lot larger looking at it now than I thought. So if you push that to the side. So yeah, the thing that just confused me a little bit was purely the fact that with the last couple of releases and things, if you ordered merchandise specifically, keep in mind it's merchandise only, you were able to get one of the comics that, you know, came with it. So last year when ordering and winning the raffle for the A6 I got Gambit in the end, obviously I got the PSA card, amazing, great, but you don't get a comic because you needed merchandise for that. However, this time round, a little bit of a confusing one. For me personally, I don't really understand it, because if you're following that track, then with the PSA specific comics this time, you would then just have a common one for the majority that is specific to that type, as they did with the X-Men, and then with the merchandise you would release the general comic. However, it was sort of a different way, as far as you got the comic as a common being like a 56 or so percent, or maybe even higher than that, maybe it's like 76 or 86% chance. And then you would have the smaller percentage chance with the comics that are specific to the pairs. Just for me, I just find that a little bit of an oddity, just a little bit confusing for me, just because of the fact that, like, if you've released the comic previously, and with your prior releases with merchandise, and with your last PSA, you know, the comic wasn't included and you just did commons for those types, the switch up, I don't know. Regardless, the collection, the collaboration, everything I think is amazing. Just getting it isn't amazing. So, box is here. I'm going to try and cut it so that you don't really see in the end. Maybe I'll just cut it. So yeah, collection dropped at 10 o'clock. Obviously I entered the raffle as everyone else did. I didn't hit. Great. So I thought, you know what, it's fine. at first, is what I thought. Obviously it wasn't fine because of the pure fact that I had an appointment on Friday at 10. So fortunately I showed up early, which meant that I finished it early, which was great that they were able to see me earlier, because typically when you show up for an appointment, it's normally the time that you're there for is is when you're seen. I just have to lift this up just that you see what I see. This ginormous box. There you go. Okay. Really? This is... And it's stuffed in it as well, so it's not even like the box is like a perfect fit for it. Anyway, there we go. So yeah, typically you go for an appointment, you're seen at that set time, at that specific moment. Fortunately, I was seen earlier, which was great. I got out, basically sat on a bench, had my mobile data on, just went for the drop. So, got what I wanted. Tried for the ASICs, they did not load in straight away. You basically had to go onto the newsletter in order to then click to get them to come up, because if you had added them to your favorites or your liked prior to the drop, not happening, you're not getting them, because that is the PH, which I believe is like their preview type version. If you go onto StockX, they'll have a number of items up with PH, but that's just not the right tag in the end for Kith drops. So yeah, if you removed that from the URL, you would have then got onto the item, but obviously I didn't do that, so you know. But here you go. So, I'll let you see like the tag, I suppose, in the corner to it. I've never got a Kith poster because the last ones that I ordered, they cancelled, so, which, you know, was something. Lovely packaging. I just don't really know the need for the gigantic box that is there, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm not complaining because it's going to go straight into a frame, straight onto my wall, because yeah, I really wish there was going to be a comic in here. There's not, so oh well. I'll move that to the side, something to keep, I suppose, for safety and such. And here we have it, the poster with this giant bag that can go like that. It's like a giant, could you imagine receiving a card like that and you open it up and it's normal? You know those memes of where people like pass something to their friend who's a little bit shorter and then it's gigantic or it's enormous? That's the type of thing that would be great for this. Like you had someone a card and it's just, or a poster, and it's just this little thing instead of that. But anyway, here it is. So you should hopefully be able to see who it is in particular. Now, I thought that all of the posters were great for multiple or just different reasons in the end. If you wanted the poster with all of the characters on, everyone included, I think from a collector's standpoint, that's amazing for somebody who wants to just see and appreciate all of them. I thought from a visual point, personally, it was either Galactus and the Silver Surfer or Green Goblin. Personal preference. In terms of aura or how like just cool they looked, I thought that Thanos did that. And in terms of just in general, I thought that the Venom one was really just like cool across the board. And especially because people said that it changed with the angle that you looked at, it'd be Venom or Carnage. I thought that was cool, but just overall, I'd probably pin it between Green Goblin and Galactus. Funnily enough, the Galactus loaded for the EA out of stock in America, people had said, and for their drop, because I went for the US drop, I tried for that as well for the A6. That also loaded out of stock. When I refreshed the page, that was the first item sold out across the board, and I know that they had horrendous queues because I was in the queue. So yeah, I don't know what went on with that specifically or with that poster, but that was definitely something a little bit odd. So if you managed to get Galactus and Silver Surfer, let me know, because that's really cool, because not many people... How the hell are you... I thought you could just like slide this off. Can you not? Not when the corner's stuck, Robert. That would be a good start, you know. There we go. There we go. So I have a lot of friends who spent a lot of money on the drop. I did not. Sorry, it's just not in my budget. It really isn't. I would have loved to have picked up a large majority of the... Okay, I was going to say, Is this scratched? My face, I was going to say, is this scratched to hell? No, it's just that it's got a layer to it. Okay, anyway, so to try and show you, oh God, it's got this layer to it, so it's not helpful. Let me try and see what's going on here. Okay, well, if you can't see the change, then it's fine, but there it is in the end, and it is going to be going into this frame, which I will do in a moment's notice, and I'll cut to that point. But yeah, that is my order in the end. I really wanted these Star Wars ones, I'm not gonna lie, I really did. I was a massive fan of them, especially the lightsaber specifically, but anyway, it is what it is. I'm very happy with this lenticular poster, and yeah, it's just going to be into a frame. Easy, job done. So yeah, as per norm, let me know down below what you picked up, what you got, how it went for you. Yeah, so raffle, EU drop, US drop, no luck. So hopefully I'll be able to just grab a pair of the Green Goblins after the fact in a couple of weeks time, because obviously I'm expecting their price to come down when people get them in hand, because that just happens. So yeah, but anyway, like I said, let me know if your order arrived. If you bought t-shirts, tees, or what have you, did it come with a comic, or is that only now specific to the pair themselves? I don't know. But yeah, I've got the Spider-Man one. I don't have the X-Men one. I'd like the X-Men one. I'd like to collect them and then maybe just get them graded, because that would just be cool. But you know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, I'll peel this off for the video. Aesthetic ASMR, you know. I can feel the static like pulling at the hairs on my arms. Like, it's funny. Anyway, it's not very aesthetic. Oh, that's not very ASMR like, is it? So now you can see it in its full. There you go. Now you get, that's cool, isn't it? That's cool. Right, so now is a cool poster. So that'll look cool. That'll look cool up on the wall. I'm finally putting something behind me, basically, in the end. So I wish this was non-reflective. I'm not gonna lie. I could look into some non-reflective, because I'm pretty sure, even if that says fragile glass, I know for a fact that this is like a, not even plastic, like acrylic. So yeah. Anyway, that is that. So cool. That is going to cover it anyway, so I do hope that you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Peace.